Hey fam, Happy New Year's, Happy Mother of God, Merry Christmas. It's still Christmas season. I think the transfiguration, no, it's transfiguration? No, it's baptism of our Lord is for like no Novus Ordo, for Catholics in general, the baptism of our Lord kind of ends the Christmas season. So it's like we're fast forwarding to his adulthood, to his ministry. That sparks the beginning of his ministry is his baptism. More on that later. I wanted to just, keep this Christmas spirit going. And I'm not 100% recovered, but I wanted to share my glory story about this precious gift I got it's actually after Christmas, but it's during the Christmas season. Therefore, it counts. Like, as you know, I was pregnant, but now I have a precious little pea here. She was born, after Christmas, and just want to share the glory story of just having her in my life, like from her conception, 2024. The biggest highlight of them all is just having this baby, like realizing that, oh my gosh, the test came back positive. Like I was feeling kind of different, kind of off in some ways, and in the summer, early May, and took the test, pregnancy test, and there was that line, and it was so emotional, and that was like the beginning, and just experiencing pregnancy for the first time, and it not being too rough. There's occasionally those rough patches, obviously the pregnancy fatigue, maybe a little nausea, but nothing too serious. I guess because I had a desk job, I got like pregnancy-induced carpal tunnel, is what I was told it was. Didn't give like any specific like scientific or medical name for it, but I was thankfully able to get some braces for that while I was still working. And now I'm a stay-at-home mom and recovering, entering what's called the fourth trimester, and I feel like that is an accurate description. It's probably the roughest trimester that I experienced. Like the second trimester, things were like probably at the highest, minus the carpal tunnel, pregnancy-induced carpal tunnel. Again, it's like very thankful and blessed to have this baby growing inside me. Thankful and blessed to have not so rough a pregnancy, and like we're able to figure out like the carpal tunnel thing and get what I needed to reduce that pain and practically eliminate it pretty quickly. And then there's the gestational diabetes, but I think like that kind of played into it. Like my desk job was the gestational diabetes, but I was able to address those pretty quickly, thankfully, and have a pretty smooth and healthy pregnancy. And it was the gestational diabetes was manageable, and it's just a blessing to like go through the different phases, like see the ultrasound for the first time, see the second ultrasound where we got to see some of her face, the fact that she was going to be very tall, like she still has pretty long legs, but they're scrunched up. The fact that she's alive and moving. I could feel her move. You could see it. Like you could see her moving, and like listening. You can tell she's listening right now. But for the good of her well-being, like try to keep her off and get the camera off her. She still got like a lot of paparazzi as it is, being a beloved baby by so many in the family and friends and all that. So far it's just family, because postpartum recovery is quite a bit. It takes quite a bit of a toll. It's something that I feel like isn't talked about that much. The focus is like on what's going on during the pregnancy when the baby's inside you, which is interesting. But like everything that's being taken out of you during the pregnancy, that still kind of continues like after the pregnancy. Even though I don't have that same weight on my waist, I still have to like carry her in my arms. But it does feel a little easier to carry her in my arms than than in my waist at this point. But yeah, it's like all that energy, all that nutrients that was like in the body is now kind of taken out of the body again. Like birth, birth takes that from you. Like we had extra blood for baby, making sure baby could get all her nutrients. But then you lose that blood. You lose a lot of water. You lose a lot of blood. It's just part of it. But along those lines, like it was a blessing to have that birth experience as well. That was one of my glory stories. Is like doing an unmedicated birth. I was like kind of keeping an open mind. Like, okay, I don't want an epidural. Like it's to each their own. People have their reasons for it or not for it. And I wanted to try to do it unmedicated. So just know I could. Didn't want the medication to like affect the labor and the labor process. Mainly, that was my reasoning. But I wouldn't think there would be any harm if I did. And then I was like kind of open. Like the birthing center I went to has the Laffy gas, the nitric oxide, I believe is called. So I was like, I guess I could, if it's really that unbearable, I could, but it is crazy. Like, try to have that mindset, like, no, I want to endure this so that there's nothing that's interfering with the labor. But also, people recommended doula, so I got a doula. It's like, if I want to do this unmedicated, and the birthing center, the midwives were recommending a doula, I think that would be very helpful. Like we got to talk to this doula, and that was a blessing as well to have a doula, somebody who kind of is certified to coach this birthing process, understands how to help counteract the contractions, or not like contradict them, but like counteract the pain caused by contractions, kind of reduce it a little bit with things like counter pressure and like different body positions, how to help the labor progress to help the baby move along to be born. Like that was very, very appreciated. And again, like ultimately it was very empowering to give birth in general, but especially unmedicated, and in hindsight being like, yeah, I did that without any medication. There's a point where I felt like I was just exhausted. Like I endured the pain well enough. It got to the point where I was like moaning and the contractions were happening like almost every minute. Like that was the end though. That was the end. And it's like, yeah, you're at the end, the midwife said. So like you're past that point. And for me, it was just like exhaustion. Like I've been laboring pretty much all day. So I was like, is there anything else I can do? Like I'm anticipating more contractions. I'll be laboring all day. But they're like, no, you're at the final end point where you can actually push the baby out. And it was wild. It's like, well, okay. And like, I guess I got that motivation back to just, keep going. And it might have been a while longer. To me, it felt like maybe 10 minutes or so, but it might have been longer. I don't know. Time started to move a lot faster then. And then all of a sudden I felt like my contractions were slowing down just as the baby's like near coming out. I was like, why? But it was for the best because my body, of course, needed to stretch so that the baby could pass through, pass out from me. And so it worked out for the best. It's like I was just so exhausted from laboring all day and so excited for the baby. But like that second burst of energy, I guess, gave me like a second wind to just keep pushing, even though I had to take my time for my own good. But ultimately, then it's like super empowering and just super exciting to give birth to a child and be like, how do women do this? And this is actually like natural. It's wild at the same time. It's like part of it's like it's painful, but I was able to endure it, and there was like a greater purpose to it. Even though ideally I would wish like there was next to no pain, not like minor cramping, but no, there was pain, and pretty much forgot about it as soon as the baby like left my body, my focus was right away like, I want to see this baby. Like, I've been laboring for all these hours, and I was just motivated by wanting to see my baby's face. So of course, once the baby came out of me, and the midwife was the one who caught her, or let her drop onto to like a check pad or one of those absorber mats, like immediately like got up, and I was like eager to see her face, and also like give her that skin to skin, which is important, and just wanting to hold my baby, see my baby. And of course she needed to cry, so she'd get all the mucus and all that out of her airways, so her nose and mouth would be cleared out for breathing through her lungs for the first time in her life. Is wild. And then I felt like I had a bit of an adrenaline rush after that, because my husband was like kind of tired. Like, he was like excited, of course, at first, but I felt like I couldn't sleep, but I didn't really need to sleep. I mean, early, like moments before, I was like exhausted, and like almost fall asleep on the pillow despite the contractions. Between contractions, I was like falling asleep on a pillow almost. And now like had this adrenaline rush where I like just focused on baby, and it was just exciting and wonderful moment. The birth experience, like, I would definitely want to talk more about like what we could refer to as the fourth trimester. And yeah, it's like gonna be slow again posting videos, but shouldn't happen. But she's gonna need to be fed soon, so I appreciate y'all for your time and your prayers, and I'll definitely be praying, continuing to pray for you, and looking forward to this new year. Baby is first, family is first, but ultimately God and the gospel. If he wants me to talk about him on this channel more, perfect. Like, God, by the grace of God, I have this baby. I delivered this baby after hours of labor, months of bearing her in my womb, and now still recovering and getting hang of the newborn life and all that. But it was a blessing. It was a blessed year and a glorious year. God brought a life into this world through the conception of our baby and the birth of our baby. And cooperating with that is just a wonderful experience, a glory story for me, and a blessing. And within time, maybe we'll consider doing it again. We'll see. When we're ready for the next one. It's crazy to think about. Like, do I want to go through this again? I am open to it. For the next baby, just right now it's like focus on recovering, and we'll discern that in good time. Thank you again, fam. God love you. Bye.